over time, all the people who are principled at 60 Minutes, who actually want to give information and tell the truth, they're probably going to leave. They're probably going to leave. And then the parent company is going to bring in some pathetic little weasels who don't tell the full truth. They'll start hiding the truth on Gaza. They'll start softening the criticisms of Trump. And again, this is part of the problem with like for-profit media is the CEO wants a merger approved and it has to go through the Trump administration. So it's like, hey, I care more about that than I care about the particulars of you doing your job correctly. So how about you just cut some corners? How about you just take the rough edges off and make my life easier and make it so I can get this merger approved? This is a catastrophe, is what it is. And it really unmasks the media frauds for what they are. To have profit at the core of what's going on here and not truth-telling. That does not bode well for the country. And remember, we've seen time and time and time again, law firms have bent the knee. Some universities bent the knee to Trump. Certainly some media outlets are just outright North Korean-style propaganda for the Trump administration. The only way we get out of this is if everybody stands unified in solidarity with one voice and says, we will not comply. That's the only way out of it. And so people need to realize, even for the ones who put their head down and just go along to get along, they're still going to target you eventually, bro. You do one little minor thing that they don't like, and they will put a target on your back, which is why we saw in reaction, there were over 100 law firms that came out and wrote a letter saying, we're not going to comply at all with the Trump administration. And then some of the law firms that had bent the knee walked it back and started balking at helping him because Trump wants these people hundreds of millions of dollars in pro bono legal work to defend destroying due process in this country. And they realize, oh, this is not going to go well. And so this is the moment. Do you draw a line in the sand and stand up and say, I'm going to be on the right side of history, or do you bend the knee and do you cuck yourself to the fascists and the robber barons? And so, look, color me surprised, but Scott Pelley saying this is ballsy, and it's great. And that means that there's still, the people who are still working there, the ethos of the top guy who left, they still have that ethos, and they still care about the truth. And like I said, I think that's kind of untenable. I think that as soon as the top brass at this company, Paramount, as soon as they get wind of this, I think they are going to bring in a new guy who's not principled, who is their little lackey, and then they're going to slowly but surely, these people will leave who actually care about the truth and care about journalism, and then they'll bring in some little fucking sycophants, and they'll destroy the name of 60 Minutes. They will destroy the brand. They will destroy some of the few remaining good investigative reporting that we have in this country. And so, I mean, I would love to get this guy, Bill Owens, on Crystal Kyle and Friends. I don't know exactly how to get in contact with him, but I'm sure he has a lot to say. He also might be worried about litigation, though, so I'm not sure he would actually open up on this stuff. But, man, this is quite a pickle we're in. That, and you see this, right? Especially with captains of industry, especially with billionaires, especially with multimillionaires and the owner class. They realize it is easier for our profit and for business as usual to continue to genuflect at the altar of Trump, to appease him. Sure, we don't agree with it. Sure, we secretly hate him. Sure, he's horrible. But we got to keep those dollars coming in, bro. We got to appease our shareholders also, right? And so that's the mindset of a lot of people. Capital breaks with fascism when push comes to shove. And that's what we're witnessing. And the realm where you can least have that happen is truth-telling, is journalism, is people who are supposed to tell you the information about the world in a completely objective way. Because right now, if you're being objective, there is no middle ground. The objective truth is, fuck this guy. The objective truth is, the fascism is here. The objective truth is, the robber barons are destroying the regulatory state. That's the truth. And 60 Minutes was given a hell of a lot of truth for a long time. And now, it looks like there's a moment of reckoning. And so, look, I got to tell you what I really think. I think that the parent company and the person who's trying to get this merger to go through, I think they're criminals. I think this is a crime. I think when you put concern for profit and business above truth-telling and objective journalism, and you're willing to bend the knee to a fascist, I think history will record that in the same way as people who bent the knee and tried to appease Hitler in Nazi Germany. I think it'll look exactly like that. Because we're talking about basic things here. We're talking about freedom of the press. We're talking about free speech. We're talking about journalism as a truth-telling apparatus. And they are willing to destroy that. They are willing to destroy that. So shout out to Scott Pelley here. Shout out to the people at 60 Minutes who are doing their job and standing up and telling the truth. It's a dangerous moment we're in, man. And every day we learn it more and more. Hey, y'all, do me a favor and like and subscribe. It helps out big time in the algorithm. Click the bell as well for notifications when videos drop, and watch that video on screen right now. You know you want to.